Ohio State versus Michigan. It's the biggest game every single year, this time in 280 days in Columbus. Lane Kiffin and LSU heading on the road to play his old team, Ole Miss. What a story. And as always, almost every year now, Bama, Georgia, one of the biggest games of the year. I'm going to be honest, the winner of this team I think is going to make the college football playoff. And welcome to the Hot Seat of College Football Show. I am Trent, your host, as today we're going to be talking about the top 10 games heading into this year of college football. Let's talk about it. Alright, so before getting into this video, make sure you hit the subscribe button. We are 5 subscribers away from 200. I just posted a video talking about who on Ohio State needs to step up going to next year. I'll pin it right here. You should go watch that video. You should also go watch my Big Ten and SEC power ratings, as they will determine and have very heavy influence on who I think are going to win these top 10 games heading into next season. Also, remember to like the show. It's the currency that we have on YouTube, and videos that get likes get doubled the amount of impressions and suggestions to you guys and the new people on YouTube, and I want to grow the show. So it's free, takes 2 seconds. Please, right now, please like the show if you enjoyed today's show. It means the world to me, and thank you so much to everybody that did. But yeah, I'm excited to talk about the top 10 games heading into next year. There is a lot of rematches, a lot of games that were in the playoffs, a lot of conference championship rematches, and I am really excited to talk about it. So let's start off at number 10 in a game that we haven't seen. We haven't seen this game in 2 years, and that is Penn State on the road at Michigan. And I am excited for this game just because I love when Big Ten, I like when original Big Ten blue bloods play each other, like your Ohio State, Michigan, Ohio State, Penn State, Michigan, even like sometimes Nebraska. Nebraska always, not always, but Nebraska actually, they do put up good fights. When they played Ohio State and they played Michigan close a couple times. But yeah, I like the West Coast teams. I like their addition, but it's the blue bloods, the Midwest, the cold weather. Like when Wisconsin's good at football, that's when everything is right in the world. It's been a shame that they've been so bad under Fickle. I think they'll be better this year. But this year, it's Matt Campbell's first year when no James Franklin, no Harbaugh, no Sherrone Moore. So really, this is really a new age, as we have 2 new head coaches, Kyle Whittingham, who came from Utah, and Matt Campbell, who came from Iowa State. These 2 teams, I'm pretty sure, played last year. Utah versus Iowa State. They did. Or no, this was 2 years ago in 24. Iowa State beat Utah 31-28. Excuse me. And now they are meeting from where they were in the Big 12, now in the Big 10. And it's in Michigan Stadium. I would have, if I had this matchup, I probably would have preferred it at Penn State, just because Penn State has a better environment. But I'm still super excited for this game, and because Penn State has a really easy schedule between Washington, USC, and Michigan. If they win one of those games, they'll most likely be 10-2, and a 10-2 Big Ten team, even with an easy schedule, they'll at least have one decent win over at least like a Washington or USC, or maybe a Michigan on the road. And that could be a playoff team. So this game could be one of the factors to say, hey, is Penn State going to make the playoffs, or are they going to miss the playoff? Michigan also has a really tough schedule. If they lose this game, I don't think they're going to make the playoff. I think whoever wins this game is going to make the college football playoff. And maybe that's more for Penn State, but Michigan with Oklahoma, Ohio State, I think they play USC. They have a really they also play Oregon too, I'm pretty sure. So they have a really tough schedule. I think they play Iowa at home. So this is a must-win for Michigan, especially at home. Especially at home, this is a must-win game for pretty much both teams, especially Michigan. At 9, I have Texas at LSU. Arch Manning could be a Heisman finalist. Sam Levitt could be a Heisman finalist. It's in Death Valley. We have yet to see these two teams play when they're both in the SEC. The last time they played was when Joe Burrow won the Heisman. Remember, that was the 2019 team when they won the national championship. It was a season opener. I think it was a neutral site game, and that game was phenomenal. It was like 51-44. It was a huge shootout. It was a great game. But yeah, with Sam Levitt transferring from Arizona State, Lane Kiffin coming from Ole Miss, I think this will be one of the best games in the SEC all year. At 8, I have Miami at Notre Dame, and this game I probably would have put a little higher. The problem is it's the ACC, and Notre Dame. Look, Notre Dame, Miami would have been a little bit higher, but there's not really any stakes for this game. Both of these two teams have pretty easy schedule, especially Notre Dame. Let me bring up Notre Dame's schedule. I mean, it's gross. They don't, which I understand why USC doesn't want to play them. I totally makes sense. But like, listen to Notre Dame's schedule. Wisconsin, that's a neutral site. Rice, Michigan State, at Purdue, at North Carolina, Stanford, at BYU, Navy, Miami, Boston College, SMU, Syracuse. I mean, they play, 2 hard games against BYU and Miami? And BYU's like an game. They play one hard game. And it's this game. And Notre Dame now, if they're in the top 12, they automatically get in. So there's no stakes for this game. Miami has a harder-ish schedule, but like, I don't know. This game, if whoever wins, it doesn't really matter. So that's why it's a little bit lower. But Darian Mental is going to be great. I mean, these could have the best two quarterbacks in the entire country with CJ Carr and Darian Mensah. But at 7, going back to the Big Ten, I have USC at Oregon. Oregon, this is a game they probably should win. Is it a must-win game with the schedule they have? No. But they do have to beat Washington and Ohio State, and if they don't, and lose USC at 9-3, I don't think they get in. I definitely think a 9-3 team is going to get in this year. Is it going to be a 9-3 Ohio State? Probably not, but potentially is a 9-3 Texas, 9-3 Michigan, 9-3 Oklahoma, USC, Georgia, Bama. I mean, it could be any assortment, LSU maybe. It could be any assortment of any teams, but I really like this USC team. I think they have a great running game, which is not something we've been able to say for USC for a while. Oregon returning a bunch of guys, maybe could be the projected number 1 team in the country. USC was 1 game away to get into the college football playoff when they lost to Oregon. So this is, especially for USC, USC has a really, really, really hard schedule. So this is a must-win game for them. And I actually think it's at home. Okay, I put it as it's on the road. This is a home game this year for USC. At 6, I could see this game being higher, but I really like the games above it more. I had Ohio State at Texas, and there's going to be a lot of Ohio State on. There's, I think, 2 more games, 3 total on this list. That's how hard Ohio State's schedule is. Ohio State at Texas. This was a game that was phenomenal 2 years ago in the playoff. Last year, it was a defensive game. It was the first game of the season. This year, it's going to be the second game. But not only is it the second game, these teams are much more veteran with returning quarterbacks. So I think it's going to be much more thrilling than before. And it's at Texas now, which means it'll be a night game. It's not going to be noon, which is funny because Michigan, when they went to Oklahoma last year, was a night game. And this year, it's going to be at Michigan. It's going to be a noon game. Those 2 games are actually on the same day. Michigan-Oklahoma was one of the games that did not make this list. I think they were the first game off. But yeah, I'm excited for this game. I think Ohio State's the better team. I think the better coach. But it's at Texas. It's at night. We beat them 2 years in a row. Can we make it 3? Usually, it's hard to do 3 years in a row. We did it with Notre Dame, so maybe you could do it with Texas. But yeah, a Big Ten SEC, we love to see it. And for Texas and Ohio State, it's not a must-win game, but damn, these 2 teams have a hard-ass schedule, especially Ohio. Texas is very close to, but Ohio State, if you lose this game, and now you can only lose 1, if you lose 2 more games, you might be and might be out, but you can only lose 1 more game to stay in, and if you lose this game, you still have to play at Indiana, at USC, Oregon, at Nebraska, Michigan. I mean, holy crap. We need to win this game. Like, we can. This is going to be really bad if we lose this game. But yeah, super tough schedule. Still glad we're playing it though. I wish the Big Ten would give Penn State a harder schedule and deflect some of the hardness off of us in Michigan and put it on Penn State and not just putting all of us on their biggest brands, especially Ohio State. But yeah, at 5, I got Georgia at Alabama. It's Georgia-Bama. This is one of the most electric games every year. Last game, actually, these two teams played twice last year, and they were both duds. When they played in Athens, it was a boring game. When they played in the SEC Championship, it was a boring game. But the year before that, it was an amazing game. The game was awesome. But with Gunnar Stockton coming back and then Keelan Russell, like, really, I think this game should be lower on this list, but it's Georgia-Bama. And as much as we criticize the SEC, this is not like an Ohio State-Michigan caliber game, but this is like Ohio State-Penn State. It's more probably like Ohio State-Oregon. This game is huge every year. I mean, Bama was ranked 17th and it was still a pretty big game last year. At 4, I got Oregon heading to Columbus to play Ohio State. These two teams have been back and forth. They play in 21. Oregon wins. They play in 24. Oregon wins. They play again. Ohio State wins. So Oregon actually has the upper hand over Ryan Day on his record, but Ohio State won the national title over them. So I think it doesn't really matter. But these are the two perennial powers in the Big Ten. I don't care. You could say, oh, Indiana. Look, Indiana, one of the most magical years we've ever seen in the sport. It's weird. It's weird that Indiana has a national title, but Oregon's never won one. It's crazy that Indiana got there before, but Oregon's a better program than Indiana. Indiana is going to have their peak for a couple of years, and they're going to fall back, maybe not to being 3-9, but the fact that we think Indiana is going to stay here for 10, 20 years. No, they're not. No, they're not going to. Because the second Cignetti, they'll get another coach after, but I don't know. But I got Oregon at Ohio State at 4. Probably be a noon game. I will say Ohio State is wearing their black uniforms this year, and I wonder if it's going to be for this game. I would love this game to be a night game. I'm thinking about maybe going to this game. It would be awesome. At 3, and obviously rivalry week is something, but man, you want to talk about a freaking story. Holy crap, because LSU is heading to Ole Miss for their SEC opener. Oh my God, let's go. Let's freaking go. Lane Kiffin in his SEC opener at LSU is going to play at Oxford. I don't want to look like an idiot. I'm just going to fact check myself. I'm going to check myself before I wreck myself. LSU schedule. Because I'm pretty damn sure this is the SEC opener. It is. So LSU, actually, their first month of the season, holy crap, it's brutal. It's Clemson, Louisiana Tech, at Ole Miss, and A&M. That is a brutal start for Lane Kiffin. But LSU is going to get tested immediately. But yeah, September 19th. Oh my God, this game is going to be so good. It's going to be so freaking good. Cannot wait. At 2, I got Ohio State at Indiana. I know I just trashed Indiana, but these are the past 2 national champions. It's going to be on the road at Indiana. It's going to be the biggest home game in Indiana history. Just like when Ohio State went to Oregon, it was the biggest game in their history at Autzen. Not in total. I guess I don't know what you say their biggest game ever. Was it the national championship when Ohio State also beat them? Or maybe it was the Rose Bowl in 2010 when Ohio State also beat them. But this is probably the biggest game in Bloomington ever. Maybe you could say the Big Ten championship, maybe what, but it wasn't a home. It technically kind of was a home game, but not really. But Ohio State at Indiana, I think Ohio State's going to not kill Indiana. I think Ohio State's going to beat Indiana pretty decently this game, or I would hope so. But yeah, super excited. The past national champions facing off again. I guess we did see this last year when, I'm trying to think, when Ohio State played Michigan last year. I guess technically that was the past 2 national champions, but anyway. But speaking of that game, number 1, Michigan at Ohio State. The game, it's the number 1 game every single year. Doesn't matter how good or bad each team is. And this game is electric. Ryan Day, which if you want to count 2020, sure. Ryan Day has never beaten Michigan at home. He's beaten them twice on the road. He's never beaten them at home. Technically 2020, I guess, but they forfeited, so Ohio State would have beat them. So I'm not saying like he should have done it, but the game got canceled. He would have done it. Michigan was what, 0-4, 2-4 that year or something in 2020. But yeah, Michigan at Ohio State, the number one game in the entire country. Every year, it's the game. Last year, Ohio State destroyed them, ending the curse. They will make it 2 in a row this year. I am calling it. I'm going to call it every year. I'm never going to predict Michigan ever win. I'm in football against Ohio State. But yeah, that is all I have for you guys today. Make sure you hit the subscribe button. We are 5 subs away from 200. Make sure you hit the like button. It helps promote the show, and it helps the show grow, and it's free. It takes 2 seconds. Just do it right now. Scroll down, hit the like button. It would mean the world to me. And then if you want to turn on the notification bell so you get a notification every single time I release a new video, that would be great. But that's all I have for you guys today. Make sure you guys all stay safe, and I'll see you guys all tomorrow. And as always, thank you.